Today we get to chat with composer Anwar of the band Phendrana, discussing their latest release, Cathexis. I hope you enjoy. There we go.
Hey, I'm doing great.
Sorry, that was a mess.
No problem. Yeah, it was sending me to another meeting for some reason. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I think
here
that
we
was the
are.
link from last week. So I updated the link so it didn't disappear. And then I had two links for today. So I don't know what I did.
No problem. Here we are.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. I'm dealing with Mexico City's horrible weather.
Oh.
But other than that, I'm doing great.
What kind of weather are you dealing with right now? What do you usually get?
It seems like spring's coming up earlier than expected, and these last weeks we've had very cold mornings and very hot uh, afternoons. So it messes up with my allergies, and
Yes.
it makes it such a pain to yeah to basically do anything.
Right. Yeah, it's hard for your body to adjust to that when it's doing extremes in one day.
Yeah, and also the air here in Mexico doesn't help at all. It's very contaminated, and yeah, it's not that great. But we're
Gotcha.
doing great.
Good, good. You released the album earlier this month, and you've had a good response so far. How was it? Do you look on your end, like at the comments, at I mean, obviously the views you do, but how is it feeling on your end of things?
Yeah, I always keep track of what people think of the album, and it's been a very good reception so far. So I'm I'm happy. I think I didn't expect it to be um, that much of a positive uh, impact on people. And it seems the algorithm is also doing its thing, and it's reaching a lot of people in the US specifically, and they seem to like it. So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Why were you surprised that it's had such a great reception?
Well, first of all, I wasn't expecting so many people to listen to the album. It reached like 20,000 streams within the first 10 days. And that's something I really didn't expect. Especially the artist. Um, so that's one thing. And this album is maybe a mix of many musical influences. So I wasn't sure which kind of um, people are were going to like it. Was it
Yeah.
going to be the prog people or the black metal people or the snuff classical music elitists? I don't know. But overall, it seems to appeal to a wider audience that I was initially expecting.
Well, you do have a mix of so many different influences in there, and even from song to song, it's different journeys, especially with the last one. It's just kind of a journey all in itself. And I think I know me personally, and I feel like other people at this point as well, for the most part, like to have music that takes you on a journey instead of it's just like the same repetitive stuff. So I think it's a good time for you to be releasing the second album, because I think people are craving that more. I mean, Orbit Culture is a huge band, and from song to song, you don't even know it's the same band, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yes, exactly. I like to think of albums as complete experiences to be listened to from beginning to end. instead of, just background songs that you listened on a random playlist. So I'm glad that it had that impact on you,
Yes.
that you
Well,
can
it's
feel it as a journey.
absolutely. And it's very cinematic too. So it's so all involving. So you have like the music itself that just keeps you invested and interested. But then it's so full and it's so bright and there's so much to it that it's almost like almost a visual experience as well. And then you add on your not only the lyrical concepts but also the spoken words that you add through there, and it's almost like it's almost at, like, yeah, like you're at a cinema watching a movie without like you obviously have the visuals with the videos, but still, even without the videos, it's a very full experience. So that's really cool to be able to accomplish something like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So how many instruments do you play? I know you're the composer of all this, but and I know you obviously have multiple musicians that participated in this as well, but how many instruments do you personally play?
I play bass guitar as my main instrument, but I also play guitar
Okay.
and drums.
Okay.
I've also tried some wind instruments, and I try my best at percussions and piano, but I
Wow.
am very bad at piano. Playing has never been my my main focus, except for bass. I do enjoy playing bass a lot. So I like to have at least a broad idea of some instruments that can help me to compose music,
Ah,
but I dedicate my time more into actual composing.
that's so interesting to me. So you I'm assuming like hear it in your mind and then just try to figure out how to get other musicians to play what you're hearing or what you're
Yeah,
creating. That's so cool.
yeah, exactly. Be it by written scores or by MIDI demos or whatever, but I make sure that I have this idea clear enough for people to understand and then uh, play it on their instruments and leave them some room to have a creative input as well.
Right. That's super cool. Now you have Richard from The Unguided and Daniel from Ahab that participated in this as well. I love Ahab. I think they're such a fun and unique and cool band. And I've actually interviewed Richard for Unguided years ago. So it's fun to see those names show up on here. How did you end up connecting with those two?
I reached Richard by writing him on Instagram. Um, and he was since the beginning my first choice for drums. I knew him for his work on Shining back in 2006, 7, I don't know. And yeah, just by those two albums, I fell in love of his approach to drum playing. I wrote him, he replied, and since then we stayed in touch. We arranged some recordings in Gothenburg, Sweden, and I think it was Gothenburg. And yeah, he's a very, very nice human being, a great father and husband. He, yeah, he's very kind. And I didn't speak directly to Daniel until the recording was done, actually, because
Wow.
yeah, the person in charge of the mixing and mastering is Jens Siefert, who also mixes the Ahab stuff. So I asked him to ask Daniel if if he was willing to have some guest vocals on the album because I tried reaching him, but it was not successful. So he did. He talked with him. he Daniel agreed. Uh, he recorded his parts in, yeah, in one day, and
Jeez.
I didn't get to listen to his stuff until it was mixed, actually.
Wow,
Um, yeah, but there was no need to do so because he is Daniel and he's
for sure.
amazing at what he does. So, and it was very kind of him to agree uh, to participate on this album. So I tried to write him again, and he replied, and yeah, we had a small talk, but very nice experience as well.
How neat for you though to be able to hear after it's mixed and you said mixed. Did you say mastered as well
Well,
before you heard it?
uh, it was like a raw master,
Okay.
the one
Wow.
I heard, because Jens was always sending me raw masters, not
Okay.
just the mix.
Well, how
But
cool for you to hear that for the first time with your compositions and being able to hear it already like fully done with his vocals. That must have been a really cool experience.
yeah, at first I was nervous. I of course the day they recorded, I asked Jens if I could listen to his tracks, and he said, "No, let me work with them. I know how to work with Daniel, and I'm sure you will like them." And yeah, sure enough, they sound great. It was a
Yes.
very nice surprise.
Yes. So Gabrielle, I believe is her name, is a friend of yours that does the female vocals. She has such a beautiful, like ethereal voice. And I love the bounce back between the ethereal, female vocals, high vocals to the kind of darker, right, harsh vocals. I love when those mix together as beautifully as you did it. How did you, I mean, I know you guys are friends, but how did you get her part of the project?
Okay, Gabriel is the brother. He is the one that plays some piano solo
Oh,
on this
okay, I
track. Yeah.
misunderstood. Okay, okay, I misunderstood. So who's the female vocalist?
Anna. She's the sister
Okay,
of Gabriel.
that's how I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I got it
So
backwards.
Gabriel Vitran plays some piano parts, and Anna Vitran sings the
Okay, so
female
you had
vocal.
the siblings that were both a part of it.
Yes,
How
I
neat.
I studied with Gabriel in college, and we made some projects, and in some of those projects, his sister, sang very soft lines and not even spoken words, just like humming some melodies on top of what we were making. And since then, I was just mesmerized by her vocals. So when I was recording this album, I asked Daniel if her sister would, if his sister, sorry, would like to participate. She did, and we got to record her parts in his home studio. Everything turned out uh, amazing. Yeah, her vocals are like the perfect match for the music, I believe.
Yes. Have you thought about, or is it something you would even be interested in doing, music for like a movie, a TV show, a video game, something like that?
Yes, yes. The I've written music for short films.
Oh,
Uh,
neat.
I've also tried some demos for video games.
Mhm.
I haven't had any big projects until now, but that's something I enjoy a lot, especially soundtracks for video games.
Ah,
They
yeah.
can be very, very intricate pieces of music.
You could pick what kind of video game your music went to. What kind of game would you want it to be?
I think I would like a darker video game.
Hmm? Yeah.
Not necessarily an action uplifting video game, but more of an atmospheric experience, or an adventure video game as well.
Ah, yeah, I could
Yeah,
see both of those. I think a
I
darker one would be awesome.
yeah, I'm a fan of Dark Souls. I also like
Hmm.
Zelda. So that's my kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Now let's dig into the lyrical aspects. You have a lot of philosophical concepts built within like emotional, depression, things that we all experience at times. Where do you usually get your lyrical influence from or inspiration?
Well, before this album, I was a person that didn't care for lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Even for my favorite songs, I don't know the lyrics.
Yep.
Um, so, for example, on the debut album, I just wrote nonsense that could fit the music and try to make up an explanation for them, but there was not so much thought process behind the actual lyrics. This album came up very differently to almost all the music I've done before. So there's an emotional and ideological weight to it that needed to be, of course, put into music and notes, but also into spoken words. Especially because I enjoy reading a lot of philosophy, and I thought it would be a great step forward to actually make sense of what I am singing
Mm-hmm.
and give purpose to those lyrics. So I started, reading lyrics for some of those bands. For example, Opeth, that's a band that I've been listening since I have memory, but I've never read their lyrics until now. So yeah, it was like diving into what other people were saying, how they were saying it to get some uh, uh, notions of how to write lyrics, and from then try to give a theme to each song and try to write the lyrics.
Right. Yeah. Well, you did a fantastic job. Do you feel like there was like extra catharsis by doing that, or was that just like a big pain in your butt?
It was a pain in the butt, but it could have been worse because I tend to overthink a lot when it comes to uh, written stuff. I can take a whole day just writing an Instagram post, for example. Like I don't like it. I lean more into music and the actual feelings of what music can say. But when it comes to words, I think I'm not that great of a lyricist, so it takes me a lot to write the lyrics. Some things were written on the way to the studio, actually. Yeah. For example, Anna's parts were finished like I, just as I was driving to her home and trying to make sense of what I wanted to say and how to fit that into the music and singing the melodies. I wrote the melodies on guitar first, and then I tried to find the words that could match those melodies and the lyrical ideas. Yeah, it's always a mess to write lyrics, but I think I was surprised with the outcome of it. Yeah, it could definitely have been worse.
But I understand you're a perfectionist when it comes to that, but I think you did a fantastic job and you need to give yourself more credit there. The philosophical mind is not a easy thing to be able to accomplish in written form, when you're not like one of the old-timey philosophers. So you definitely give yourself more credit than what you're giving yourself.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite philosopher?
Yeah, I consider him a philosopher despite him being more of a novelist, but Dostoevsky is like a spiritual teacher for me. Um, Reading his novels is like reading actual existential philosophy. Uh, the way he uh, dissects the human behavior and how on point he can be sometimes to how irrational the human mind can be. Um, So yeah, he's probably my favorite author and philosopher.
Some. I don't know if I've ever actually read any of his work, so I need to change that. I'm a huge reader, and I know he obviously is one of the classics, so I need to be better about digging into him. I One of my favorite books is a book called Sophie's World, which she or it's about, not she, Sophie, is about this guy who starts sending this girl these like things in the mail asking her different philosophical questions, and she doesn't know who it is and she doesn't know why he's asking, but he's like, if you're curious, write me back and put it in your mailbox, and then I'll like teach you about these things. So then he starts teaching her about each and every philosopher, and it's kind of a mystery while it's also like a obviously, learning about philosophy. It's a fantastic book. But that's like on the nose philosophy versus, like you said, and you can find philosophy in almost any kind of writing if you're really looking for it, but it's nice
Yeah.
when you find one that really speaks to you, you know.
Yeah, I've never read Sophie's World, but it's definitely in my bucket list.
It's a good
And
book.
yeah, I think you will fall in love with Dostoevsky,
Mhm.
even if you agree with his religious stuff or not,
Mhm.
which I don't. And that was like a harsh point of entry because when I decided to start reading him, I thought of, okay, I will have to deal with his Christian worldview. And surprisingly enough, I empathize with him more than I think I would.
Oh, interesting.
So his mindset is very universal, despite his religious beliefs.
Yeah. I think that's so neat when you're able to experience someone else's yeah, either belief structure, culture, whatever, through a lens of still understanding, even though it might not necessarily be something that you practice yourself, you know? So that I
Yeah,
think that's always really neat. Yeah. I know you're busy. I want to do one really quick last question I ask everybody. Um, as far as self-care, taking care of your mental health, you are discussing very deep topics. It is a very emotional album. What are some things you do to protect your mental health?
I try to work out. That's something that changed my life completely, and take care of my health by eating uh, proper stuff, and visiting the psychiatrist, the psychologist, and but overall, I try to keep a positive um, mindset with what I do, which it has been very hard for me to do so.
Mhm.
Uh, this album was actually a result of a very dark period in my life. So when I started writing this album, I was just about like having a small glimpse of the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mhm.
So it was like clinging to that light and
Yeah.
uh, having the music as this companion through that last stage. And after the album was done, I thought of the music as doing the job it had to do. And then it was up to me to actually reach that light. And I started taking care of my health, which I had neglected for such a long time. But it definitely has an impact.
Yeah.
Uh, Working out, eating healthy, stop smoking, stop drinking. I mean, I still drink, but I with moderation, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
So today's Anwar is feeling much better than the beginning of the making of this album, Anwar.
yeah, absolutely.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much for taking this time with me. I very much appreciate it.
Now, thank you very much, Nika, for having me here.
Absolutely. We will hopefully chat with you another time.
Yeah, for sure. I would be glad to do so.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Nika.